Hey, welcome to this week's episode of Topical English Vocabulary with me, teacher Tiffany. In this week's lesson, we are focusing on day 12 of book 11. This month's daily English vocabulary book is book number 11, and our topic is digital art. So, by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to speak English fluently and confidently about digital art because you'll know 5 of the most important terms. Now remember, if you want to get your ebook for this month and follow along, all you have to do is hit the link in the description. We are using book number 11. Again, you can hit the link in the description to get your copy of this month's daily English vocabulary book, book number 11. All right, are you ready? Well then, let's jump right in. Our very first term is pixel. Good. Again, pixel. Excellent job. Now, pixel, this term, again, we're speaking about digital art. Now, as you're looking at this image on the screen, this image is actually pixelated. You see the edges, how they look kind of like bricks or the old school Tetris game? These are examples of sets of pixels. So this is a pixelated image. So again, we're speaking about this term pixel. And what does this term actually mean? It means the smallest unit of a digital image or display, representing a single point of color. So again, looking at that image, we see that 1 pixel, so it's a little smaller, 1 pixel can be seen in a square, right? Pixelated, all right? So let's check out the example sentences using this term. Our first example sentence is, the resolution of the digital artwork is measured in pixels, which affects its clarity and detail. Number 2, each pixel in a digital image contributes to the overall quality and sharpness of the artwork. And finally, artists often zoom in on pixels to refine intricate details in their digital paintings. Once again, our first term is pixel. Excellent. All right, now let's move on to our second term. Our second term is layer. Good. Again, after me, layer. Excellent. All right, layer. I want you to look at this image on the screen. Now, this brings back memories when I studied digital art. I did commercial painting or commercial art and also computer science when I was in college many years ago. And I remember when I first learned how to use Photoshop. And Photoshop is a program that allows you to create images, and you can use layers. So notice how on this man's face we see a box that has a blue hue, but underneath it we see kind of an orange color. Then we see a reddish orange color. These are different layers kind of stacking on top of each other. So what is the exact definition of the term layer? A layer is a separate level in digital art software where different elements or adjustments are applied independently. Different layers are applied or elements independently. In English, we say layer. All right? So let's check out the example sentences using this term. Here's the first example sentence. The artist used multiple layers to separate the background, characters, and effects in the digital artwork. Next, adjusting the opacity of a layer can help create subtle visual effects in digital painting. And finally, layers allow artists to work on different aspects of their art without affecting other elements. So once again, number 2, we have layer. Excellent. All right, let's move on now to number 3. Number 3 after me is resolution. Excellent. Again, resolution. Great job. All right, resolution. So I want you to look at this image. And this image is actually an image or a digital art recreation of an iPad that also has an image on it. So again, resolution could be, is it high resolution or low resolution? And resolution just refers to the amount of detail an image holds, usually measured in pixels per inch or PPI, or dots per inch, DPI. All right, so again, the amount of details that you can see. So if we look at this image, the more we zoom in, you see all of the pixels, right? That means the resolution is not as high. But when we zoom out, it's not a bad image. Makes sense, right? Resolution. So let's check out these example sentences. Here's the first example sentence. Higher resolution images have more detail and are better suited for large prints. Next, the resolution of the digital artwork affects how crisp and clear it appears on different screens. And finally, adjusting the resolution settings can improve the quality of the final output in digital art. So once again, number 3 is resolution. Excellent. All right. Now we have number 4. Number 4, again, we're looking at terms related to digital art. After me now, opacity. Good. Again, opacity. Excellent. Now, what is this referring to? Now, when you look at this image, you can clearly see that there's a woman in this image, right? You see her hair blowing in the wind. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, you see her hair blowing in the wind. But then you also see, if you look closely, you see what looks like to be a highway that is kind of superimposed on her clothing. Then you see some other streets behind her on her shoulder. What is this? This is showing that the opacity level, right? The opacity level. So what does the term opacity actually mean? So opacity refers to the degree to which a layer or color is transparent or visible in digital art. The degree to which a layer, the transparency, we can see through her, right? We can see there's another image either on top or behind her layer. All right, so again, the degree to which a layer or color is transparent or visible in digital art. So let's check out these example sentences. Here's number 1. By adjusting the opacity of a layer, the artist can create translucent effects and overlay elements. Next, lowering the opacity of the paint layer helped the artist achieve a more subtle and blended look. And finally, opacity settings are crucial for layering and merging different elements in digital compositions. So again, number 4 we have is opacity. Excellent. All right, now let's move to number 5. Again, still speaking about digital art. Number 5 is rendering. Good. Again, rendering. Excellent. Now, this term rendering, now look again, we have this digital art, right? We have this image of a woman, and on top of the woman's face or in front of her face, we see that there is a goldfish, it looks like, that's kind of swimming in front of her. Maybe this is a different type of fish, but we see the woman kind of looking at the camera, and there are things kind of floating in front of her and on her. So what does the term rendering actually mean? It means the process of generating a final image or animation from a digital model, including applying textures, lighting, and effects. In English, we say rendering. And again, the key word is the process of generating a final image. So let's check out these example sentences and they will help you understand this term even more. Here's the first example sentence. The final rendering of the 3D model took several hours to complete due to the complex textures and lighting. Next, artists often preview their work before rendering to ensure all elements are correctly placed. And finally, advanced rendering techniques can add realism and depth to the digital art projects. So once again, number 5, we have rendering. You got it. Excellent. All right. So again, our topic is digital art. And we're going to see how the 5 terms you just learned can be combined into one paragraph. So once again, let's review. We have number 1, pixel. Number 2, layer. Number 3, resolution. Number 4, opacity. Number 5, rendering. Now it's time for us to look at a paragraph that includes each of these terms. I want you to listen closely for the terms. Here we go. Digital art is a form of art created using digital tools and techniques. Artists often work with layers in their digital artwork, allowing them to manipulate different elements of their composition independently. The opacity of these layers can be adjusted to control how much they overlap or blend with other elements. When creating digital art, resolution is crucial, as it determines the quality and detail of the final image. Rendering is the process of creating a realistic or stylized image from a digital model or sketch. Each image is composed of millions of tiny dots called pixels, which contribute to the overall quality and appearance of the artwork. As technology continues to advance, digital art is likely to play an even greater role in the world of visual arts, offering artists new and exciting possibilities for creative expression. In this one paragraph, you heard each of the terms. Again, we had layers, opacity, resolution, rendering, and pixels. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Remember to get your copy of this month's daily English vocabulary book, book number 11, by hitting the link in the description, and I'll talk to you in the next lesson.